American History X 1998 is one of the most powerful and controversial films ever made. Known for its brutal realism and emotional storytelling, it explores racism, hate, and redemption in a way few movies dare. Edward Norton's unforgettable performance as Derek Vinyard earned him an Oscar nomination, but what happened behind the scenes was just as shocking as what we saw on screen. From on-set clashes to hidden symbolism, this film has a fascinating legacy filled with strange and little-known details. Today, we'll dive into weird facts about American History X that will change how you see the film. Edward Norton wasn't the first choice. It's hard to imagine anyone but Edward Norton as Derek Vinyard, but he wasn't the studio's first choice. The role was originally offered to several actors, including Joaquin Phoenix, who turned it down due to the film's controversial subject matter. Norton eventually took the part and gave one of the strongest performances of his career. The weird part? Norton bulked up by over 30 pounds in just a few months to embody Derek's intimidating physique. His shocking transformation, both physically and emotionally, made the role unforgettable, proving that he was the perfect choice despite being overlooked initially. The director disowned the film. Tony Kaye, the director of American History X, famously disowned the final version. After disagreements with the studio and Edward Norton over edits, Kaye felt that his vision was compromised. The weirdest part? He reportedly asked to have his name replaced in the credits with Humpty Dumpty. The Directors Guild refused, forcing his name to remain. Kaye even went so far as to buy ads criticizing the movie's release. Despite his disapproval, the final cut received critical acclaim, and Norton's performance became legendary. Ironically, the film Kaye tried to distance himself from is now considered a classic. The infamous curb stomp scene was cut down. One of the most disturbing moments in cinema is the curb stomp scene. However, what audiences saw was actually a shortened version. The original cut was even more graphic, but the filmmakers decided to trim it to maintain an R rating and avoid being banned in certain countries. The weird part, despite the edits, the scene became so iconic and horrifying that it remains one of the most referenced moments in film history. Its brutality cemented the film's reputation for realism and continues to shock audiences decades later, even though the full original version has never been released. Edward Norton helped edit the final cut. Edward Norton wasn't just the star, he also had a major hand in shaping the film. After tensions grew between Tony Kaye and New Line Cinema, Norton was asked to assist with editing. He restructured certain scenes and even added extra footage, lengthening the runtime by nearly 30 minutes. The weird part? Norton's edits became the version we know today, which upset Kaye, who accused Norton of hijacking the film. While controversial, Norton's influence helped craft a more character-driven story, focusing on Derek's transformation. This behind-the-scenes battle turned the film into both a cinematic masterpiece and a Hollywood cautionary tale. The tattoo designs had hidden symbolism. Derek Vinyard's tattoos in American History X weren't random, they were carefully chosen to reflect the character's journey. His swastika tattoo is the most recognizable, but other tattoos contain subtle references to white supremacist symbolism. The weird part? The designs were based on real neo-Nazi tattoos, researched by the costume and makeup departments to ensure authenticity. After filming, Edward Norton reportedly insisted on removing the fake tattoos immediately, saying he didn't even want to see himself in the mirror with them. The tattoos were so convincing that they became unsettling symbols of Derek's dark past, haunting even the actor himself. It was almost rated NC-17. The film's violent and disturbing content nearly earned it an NC-17 rating, which would have limited its distribution and box office potential. The curb stomp, prison assault scenes, and intense racial slurs all contributed to the MPAA's initial reaction. The weird part? Instead of cutting too much, the filmmakers fought to keep the intensity, eventually toning down just enough to secure an R rating. The compromise allowed the film to reach a wider audience while still maintaining its shocking realism. Many critics argued that softening it further would have destroyed its impact, making the R rating a crucial victory. The prison scenes were filmed in a real jail. Many of the prison scenes were shot in an actual correctional facility in California. The production used the real Chino prison, with some scenes filmed in active areas that housed inmates. The weird part? Real prisoners served as extras during filming, adding authenticity to the environment. Edward Norton and Edward Furlong reportedly found the experience unsettling, especially during the more violent sequences. Filming in a real prison gave the movie a gritty realism that couldn't have been achieved on a studio set. The harsh environment contributed to the film's unsettling atmosphere and unforgettable prison sequences. Edward Norton was paid very little. Despite giving one of the most iconic performances of his career, Edward Norton didn't receive a massive paycheck for American History X. At the time, he was still building his reputation after Primal Fear and Fight Club. The weird part? Norton accepted a salary of just $50,000 for the role, far below what A-list actors typically commanded. His motivation wasn't money, but the chance to deliver a powerful performance in a film with important themes. That gamble paid off, as the role earned him an Academy Award nomination and elevated his status as one of Hollywood's top actors. Tony Kaye tried to sue the studio. After his fallout with New Line Cinema, director Tony Kaye launched a bizarre lawsuit against the studio. He demanded $275 million in damages, claiming they had destroyed his vision and humiliated him. The weirdest part? He showed up to meetings with a priest, a rabbi, and a monk to argue his case, hoping the religious presence would sway opinions. Needless to say, his lawsuit was dismissed. This eccentric behavior damaged Kaye's Hollywood reputation for years, and he struggled to find directing work afterward. The controversy became almost as infamous as the movie itself, adding to its strange legacy. It became a tool for education. Despite its disturbing content, American History X has been widely used in schools, colleges, and anti-racism programs. Teachers and activists use it to spark discussions about hate, prejudice, and redemption. The weird part? A movie filled with violence, racial slurs, and brutal realism became an educational tool. Many institutions carefully guide students through the film to ensure its message isn't misinterpreted. Instead of glorifying hate, the film's shocking honesty highlights the consequences of racism. Its lasting cultural impact has made it one of the rare movies that transcends Hollywood, becoming part of real-world conversations about tolerance and change.